Welcome to Concordia's 10th anniversary celebration.
As Matt and I and our teams have been celebrating these 10 years, and it's difficult to believe that it's 10 years, we've sort of been reflecting on the people that have helped us get to where we are. And there are a number of people who believed in us even when we had we're two young kids, I guess, with nothing but an idea.
Some amazing people helped us get along the way and helped us start this organization. I was reflecting on it, and a huge thank you to President George W. Bush, who trusted us in the very beginning, came to the first summit with 100 people when everyone in the audience were our friends because we didn't know anybody else. When President Bill Clinton came the second year, because not only was it critical that we host President Clinton, but also that we really lay the foundations for the nonpartisan legacy that Concordia has now had for 10 years, and it's something that we fiercely protect and we're incredibly proud of.
A special nod to our Leadership Council, a group of incredibly busy and important people who have given a little bit of their time and efforts and ideas and energy to support the work we do at Concordia. And one of the areas in which the Leadership Council has taken on a more prominent role this year is in the spearheading of our Leadership Awards, which we were about to get into.
It is a great honor for me to introduce Christiana as the recipient of the 2000 Leadership Award for Nonprofit Sector at this Concordia Summit. Thank you, Christiana, for your big dreams and your hard work, both in our name and in the name of our children's children. Thank you.
Science is abundantly clear that we are now 9 months into the most consequential, the most decisive decade in the history of humankind, for one simple reason, because it is over the next 10 years that collectively we will decide whether we walk down the path of a world that is under constant and increasing destruction and unfathomable human misery, or whether by 2030 we've been able to cut our global greenhouse gas emissions by 1/2 and thereby open the path to a world that is not just what we have now, it is a much better world. The fact is, if each of us is not part of the solution to these problems, we are part of the problem. We have run out of time to stay somewhere in between that. And I think the Concordia family is the best example of being part of the solution. So I thank you for that. I thank you for what Concordia has done in the past 10 years. But in advance, I thank you for what you're going to be doing over the decisive decade.
Doug McMillan has been president and CEO of Walmart since 2014. In addition to leading the company to new heights of economic performance, Doug has led Walmart's truly impressive efforts in the field of environmental protection and sustainability.
We have a responsibility to use the size and scope of our business to have a positive impact on the world that future generations will inherit, to help enable them to live better. We raised the bar higher when we announced new, even bolder sustainability commitments. One of them is targeting zero emissions in our global operations by 2040. We're going to pull a number of levers to do this, like harvesting enough wind, solar, and other renewable energy sources to power all of our global facilities by 2035. We must move toward a regenerative approach to sustainability. Just stopping unsustainable business practices isn't enough. Business must proactively start to operate in ways that help heal and strengthen our natural environment. This is no longer a niche subject. Customers are well aware that the items they buy have ramifications. Likewise, investors want to know that we're in this for the long haul and that we're addressing the health of our planet, communities, and associates, the very things that allow us to exist. Thank you again for honoring us with this award. And thank you to everyone listening who's also doing this work that's necessary for people and the planet. It matters.
It gives me great pleasure to present the Honorable Antonio Guterres, the 9th United Nations Secretary General, Concordia's 2020 Leadership Award for his impactful and long-standing work on the public sector and in the public sector.
Thank you for this tribute on behalf of the peacekeepers, humanitarian personnel, and other staff who strive around the clock to help countries across the world to combat the pandemic, deliver peace, and address the existential threat of climate change. Against this backdrop, the United Nations this year commemorates its 75th anniversary and our founders' visionary response to the challenges of 1945. As we mark this milestone, we too must chart our way out of the difficult circumstances onto a better path. To overcome the pandemic, the United Nations continues to advocate for a massive rescue package for the world's most vulnerable people and countries, a people's vaccine affordable and available to all, and a global ceasefire so that the world can focus on its common enemy, the virus. We must learn from this tragedy not to return to the world of fragility and inequality that prevailed before the virus struck, but to turn tragedy into opportunity and make a determined effort to build a better, fairer, more sustainable future. Nowhere will that be more important than in responding to the climate crisis. International cooperation will be critical. In that spirit, I welcome the efforts of Concordia to bring businesses, non-profits, foundations, local authorities and others together to forge sustainable, inclusive solutions and innovation. Thank you for your engagement and support as we combine efforts for the crucial weeks and months ahead. Please accept my best wishes for a successful gathering, and I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Secretary General. Your work is inspiring for so many of us. It's more important than ever in these crucial times. What an experience it has been. It was an honor to hear from the global leaders that share their insight with all of us. And it was especially rewarding to hear from this year's award recipient. Concordia is a facilitator of conversation, and they will not be stopped because of a pandemic. My time as MC has come to a close, but before you all leave us, I want to pass the last word to Concordia CEO and co-founder Matt Swift. Matt, take it away.
Wait, Noella, so obviously when it's your anniversary, you have to have some champagne. So I have champagne, but I didn't have the right glass, so we just went with this. But cheers. Thank you so much for doing it. See, and you, Kevin, you both know I'm drinking champagne.